Hey guys, I want to do some sort of directed commentary for Oddjobs. This video will be a lot more laid back, and I'll just ramble on about the process of making the episode. I'll probably do these sort of videos after each episode. This is my first time doing an essay type video, so it's gonna be a little bit rough. I've always loved watching content creators talk about their process when making videos. For example, my personal favorite TFTuber, Lazy Purple, with their extra series. Basically, behind the scenes. This will basically be a 20-minute yap fest, so good luck. Alright, let's not beat around the bush. Let's get straight into this. You guys probably don't know anything about me in real life, or I really hope so. But I'm an animator. I went to college. Okay, I'll be the first to admit that the animation in my channel, it's pretty rough around the edges. This channel came to being when I posted Sniper Saying Poggers, which was intentionally made for friends only on my Discord server. But when the video popped off, I decided to continue with YouTube. I love animation, but sometimes the process can be kind of tiring. The legit process, I mean. With planning, storyboarding, posing, graph editing, going back and fixing the animation for the 100th time, it can be kind of tiring. So for this channel, I animate for fun without spending tens of hours fixing the animation. I think the roughness of my process carried over to Oddjobs. Oddjobs is a passion project, but I could admit I could have made the animation look a little better. But in my defense, I'm the sole animator of this project. But hey, I could still animate for real, by the way. Look at this. My main inspiration was Regular Show. I love Regular Show. Here, look at my phone case. I love the premise of a simple task going insane and wanted Oddjobs to be very similar. I haven't watched Smiling Friends or The Amazing World of Gumball yet, I'm getting to it, but from what I heard, I could also gather some inspiration from those shows too. Fun fact, a while back around 2023, there was this meme going around of the average Regular Show episode. It actually gave me the push to finally making my own series. It's kind of weird how the world works. Let's continue to the next part, yeah? Yippee, character designs. Before I start talking about them, we should know who was involved with the project. We have me as Mikey, Sunjun as SJay, Jack as Echo, and Tim as Bernie. Here are their channels. Check them out. They're kind of funny. For the process of choosing their characters, I'll let them scour the SFM workshop and find a model that suits them. Now that we know who's involved, let's start off with the old character designs. This is the old teaser I made for Oddjobs around a year ago, before the Oddjobs we know was even started. It's kind of crazy how different this project came to be. Who are those two? That battle droid is Jack, or Echo, and Bendy from the Bendy and Egg Machine is Sunjun, or SJay. Why did they look so different to what they look now? With the B1 battle droid, I had some issues with the rig, and it was low-key kind of a pain to animate. I mean, the newer model we have now of the Combine, it's only slightly better to work with, but you know, we move on. With the Bendy model, it's such an iconic character from a popular series, and you know, it felt kind of weird taking its design and removing all its personality that was associated with it and replacing it with my own character. Don't tell anyone this, but I told them to pick a character with their face covered so I don't have to lip sync them. I'm a genius. I plan on giving them more drip for the future episodes, because right now they're just a base model. I might give SJay like a top hat or a bow tie with something. As for my character, I'm the only one who's dripped out in cosmetics. The only change I have is that I'm wearing pants now. I think one time I was animating, I realized I'm kinda naked.
Dude, put that thing away! They're like children here!
The cosmetics I'm using for my character is the Enhanced Co-Pilot by Grainstorm64 and Android. The pants is a Triggerman's Tactic. The shoes? Spooky shoes. And finally, a Kitty 0706 plush. Kitty 0706 is a huge inspiration for me, and I wanted to bring him along with me as I make my passion project. Rest in peace, King. I tried to give my guy a coat, but instead he kinda looks a little poofy, so I got rid of that idea. Bernie was supposed to be Double D from Ed, Edd and Eddy, since Tim picked him out. I didn't like that idea, and after a couple months, I quietly changed his model to Peppino from Pizza Tower. Why? I trust you.
You trust me?
So,
Oh no, it's not.
So, wait, whose hotel? Now, let's talk about weapons. We all love a good weapon. Me? I love unique weapons. Weapons you don't really see that often. There is this one shot in the episode where all our weapon is shown. Echo will be using a dart gun. You know, fun fact, he has a gun. Each dart will have their own special drugs and effects. For example, Girarde for mini crits, Mad Milk for health, and this one for SJay will use gloves similar to Vi's gauntlets from Arcane. And I will be using this. I like it because it looks like a coffin and you know, Mikey's supposed to be an undead. Now, let's move on to process. When I went to uni, we had to do these studio classes where it simulates what it would be like working in an actual studio. We learned the pipelines needed to create any animations. I, however, did not follow this pipeline when working with Oddjobs. In fact, I kinda just winged it. And yeah, that was kind of a mistake. This is how I did it. First, I'll get an idea of a plot, and I'll write down bullet points of what might happen in the story. Let's take our episode for example. I would write them down as 1. We start off broke with no business. 2. Heavy comes in all blooded up. 3. We go to the supermarket but the bread is too expensive. 4. We try to steal it but shenanigans happen. After we got the basic bullet points completed, I'll hop in my call with my friends and expand and brainstorm on the plot. Once we're happy with the plot, we start writing our lines. Since we're all friends here, we are able to get comfortable and bounce ideas off one another. Once we're happy with our lines, I'll record our voices on OBS through Discord. We could go and record our lines with our own actual voice recording softwares to get the best quality possible, but I found out that once you're in a VC with a couple of good friends, you tend to speak more comfortably and less forcefully. Now I know, our line delivery isn't the best. Yes, I read the comments. None of us have actually any experience with voice acting or even acting, except Tim, he did theater in high school. But I think our amateur voices is kind of part of the experience. After all, we're just a couple of good friends making a series for fun, and that's the kind of vibe I want to carry on with it. After the script process is done, I would start animating. Now I wish I've taken the time to learn how to storyboard better while I was in uni. In the animation industry, almost every project, big or small, would have a storyboard. Without a storyboard, you're kind of directionless, and have to come up with shots or camera angles, visual jokes, all on the spot as you're animating. Since I'm a 3D animator, well, actually never mind, that's unrelated. I just cannot draw, so I ignored storyboarding and went to the next step. Animation previs. Animation previs is where you get the basic poses from the storyboard, or in my case, from my head, and have a really rough animation done just to get the picture of what it might look like, before you commit and animate fully. Then I'll polish the animation, fix any errors, add lighting, and bam, Oddjobs. Yeah, I'm oversimplifying over here, but I'll discuss it more later in the video. This project took maybe 8 months to make. That might sound like a lot for a 6-minute episode, but I had a lot on my plate. Since I wanted this series to be successful, I also posted what I like to call slop. To gain some traction with the YouTube algorithm, at least maybe twice a week, and pray my channel gets popular before I post a pilot episode. And on top of that, I went on maybe 3 burnouts while making this project. And I was also looking for animation jobs while expanding my portfolio with even more animations. I was pretty busy. If I were to solely focus on this one episode, I would say it would take maybe 2 months. Realistically 4 with possible burnouts and procrastination, of course. Let's go through the animation process scene by scene, because that sounds fun. Scene 1. Scene 1 begins with the gang waiting for commissions for their company, Oddjobs, where they take any job for cash. The heavy from TF2 walks in, all bloodied up, and asks for a sandwich. The gang goes to the kitchen and finds every ingredient except for the bread. Then they plan on going to the supermarket to get some bread. The songs I used for scene 1 is Lazy River by Daniel Koshner from the game Donut County, and A Little Heart to Heart from the TF2 soundtrack. At first, we had a completely different script for scene 1. Our initial script started off with the gang making it to Friday and celebrating with a pizza party while playing Collective of Higher Magical Beings, aka League of Legends. That was kinda lame. While we play our game, the power goes out due to us not paying rent. We then just start working since we're some broke motherfuckers. Then the heavy comes in and asks for a sandwich, completely healthy, but we run out of bread, and then, yeah, you get the gist. The map scene in scene 1 is created by KOT. I was going for a cracked-in vibe to show that, hey, we're poor. I had boarded up windows and trash lying around, and honestly, I don't know if I really executed that plan effectively. For the character introductions, I used a similar format to Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, since it's a pretty neat way to introduce names. I never thought people would actually read these, or even memorize them. I was confused when our character names were mentioned in the comments, since we never actually said our names out loud during the episode. I would read comments be like, Mikey. What the hell is Mikey? Oh! It's cool how 3 seconds of our names being shown was recognized by so many people. The cat that SJay is petting is named Reggie. I plan on making the cat like into a mini character, but I forgot to add the name descriptions for her. I'm sorry. Scene 2. Scene 2 is a traveling montage and the easiest to animate out of all those scenes. I had this shot animated where the car would crash into a pole and explode. I didn't go through with the idea because we would be dead. The song I used is Drama Montage by Brian Bennett, and I found it from an animation by Lazy Odd Cat. I was looking for some upbeat soundtracks and I remembered, hey, this guy uses good music, and it's probably copyright free. For my series, I wanted a shot where the main character is just chilling, like actual friends. No action, no stakes, just hanging out like real people. I wanted at least one shot in each episode where the 3 of us is doing normal human things. I was planning for them to eat food on a park bench outside a diner with the space and stars above us, but I just couldn't get the environment I wanted. I used the Overwatch diner map instead. You can say whatever you like about Overwatch, but damn, they do make some good map environments. The diner scene was inspired by the show Invincible, where Invincible and Alan were chilling at a diner. I even tried to get the same exact camera angle as well. At first, it was just gonna be a shot of us eating and nothing else, moving on to the next scene. But since I had some time on my hands, I included the "How are you guys eating?" joke. If you look carefully, you can see that Mikey's other fingers aren't even animated. I was extremely tired and prayed no one would notice. You see, the joke is that none of us is able to eat any. Scene 3. In Scene 3, the gang arrives at the supermarket and goes to the bread aisle. There they find out the bread they need is overly expensive. They meet Bernie, the store clerk, and try to negotiate a price. But when they fail, they plan on stealing the bread at night. I was recommended by Tim, the guy who plays Bernie, that I should use Happy Go Lively, the background music from SpongeBob. It gives off old Gmod vibes, and I really like it, but unfortunately it was copyrighted, and I wasn't able to get monetized for this video. Honestly, it's fine that the video was not monetized. I mean, I would like to get paid, but at the same time, this video got my channel to be eligible to be monetized in the first place. So I can't really complain too much. Bernie, played by Tim, is a store clerk. We plan on having him be like Larry from The Amazing World of Gumball, where he works every job in the series. He also works security there too. One thing you should know about me is that I hate animating walk cycles. I believe it's one of the most tedious and time-consuming things to animate. And I'm right. I recently bought the Animation Survival Kit, and it says right here, a walk is the first thing to learn. Learn walks of all kinds, because walks is about the toughest thing to do right. When I read that, I said out loud,
Damn. Oh, that is good.
I put a little reference at the end of the scene. In the transition shots between day and night, you can see Mordecai, Rigby, Skips, and Benson in the background. Some of you guys notice, and it really makes me happy. Scene 4. Scene 4 is the meat and potatoes of the episode. In this scene, the gang tries to steal bread at night, but the security guard is present and tries to foil their thievery. So, they incapacitate him and escape with the bread. The songs used in the scene are Some Mysteries Are Better Left Unsolved from Arcane, American Venom from Red Dead Redemption 2, and the main chorus, You're Mine, by Carpenter Brute from the Fury soundtrack. I wanted the pacing of this episode to be similar to the regular show. We start off normal and then eventually shit hits the fan. This scene is jam-packed with references and inspirations from different medias. When Echo falls from the ceiling, he hits the Peter Griffin pose. I've been telling everyone this, but the Peter Death pose is genuinely great because of how dynamic it is. The black bars for the action scenes are from Putis Engage by C0. The black bars help with adding some oomph to the scene. Not only does it look extremely cool, but it also covers up empty areas in the shot and helps focus on the main action. Also, it's very stylized. SJ's pose here is from the meme I found of the woman throwing the teapot at the man. The scene with the military is from Heavy's Birthday by Creative Zone. This video is a Gmod classic, and the scenario is so over the top, I just wanted to include it in. The idea I had with the soda cans in the trolley is that they will explode on impact, since you know when you shake a can of soda they blow up. When I finished rendering the scene, I realized that, oh my goodness, there is no explosion. They just hit Birdie with a shopping cart. I'm sure people got the idea though, and no one commented on it, so we're good. Tim is the only one here who could actually voice act pretty well. On the day of the recording, Tim pulls out an Arthur Morgan Weston Sheriff voice. It came out of nowhere, and I never really gave any directions on how to voice the character. But I'm glad it happened. Because of the Weston voice, Bernie's wearing a cowboy hat, has a huge revolver, and American Venom plays for a bit. Here's the death noises he sent.
Wait, no, please.
One part I'm really proud of is the impact frames, for when Bernie gets thundercutted by a shopping cart. Surprisingly, it's easy to do this effect. Sure, it's not the best impact frames you ever seen, but it gets the job done. I made this frame in about 2 minutes on Photoshop. Scene 5. I'll be honest, I came up with the ending on the spot. I've animated up to the sandwich making montage and I haven't touched the scene since. I procrastinated Oddjobs for a long time, and for me to actually get it done, I set myself a deadline. 3 days before Oddjobs came out was absolute hell. I'll pull all-nighters 3 nights in a row, and I thought I was going insane. On the day of the deadline, I had to think of an ending and animate it all within 5 hours of the release date. Some shots like the hand-waving scene is a little bit rough, but surprisingly, this ending is a lot better than the other ideas I had in mind. And the music is so perfect, and it switches to jazz on its own, and when it's just... The original ending was supposed to be a scene where we'll put all our earnings into a chest, saving up money for the ending of the series. But I wasn't really feeling this idea, so instead, we just spent all our money on some good food and a great time. Alright, that concludes this YapFest. Special thanks to DEADGHOSTTOWN. They drew fan art with me, the one I'm using for the thumbnail, and might be my biggest supporter out there. It's so crazy how someone actually drew fan art, and this quickly too. Here are their socials. Thank you for those who join my Patreon, and for the low price of $2, you get to support me. For the low price of $500, you get to be in the same VC as me for 10 minutes. You will be monitored. I'll continue working on Oddjobs, but in the meantime, I will also be posting short animations, well, high quality than the previous videos I used to make, to improve my skills. Thank you all for supporting me and for watching Oddjobs.